Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my landscape journey. In today's episode, we're gonna dive into artificial intelligence and the best tool that is on the market on 2025 for rendering. I have experience comparing AI tools like Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, and some others that are really good, but this one, the one that I'm gonna show you just today, has blown completely my mind. There is a statistic that shows that 41% of the firms are using artificial intelligence in some manner. So some people is using them for improving their prompts to create just random images. Some other people are using it for instructing AI software to produce detailed visuals. And of course, there is other ways artificial intelligence has been implemented into firms to achieve workflows and different strategies. But in today's chapter, we're gonna dive into specifically how to use artificial intelligence for getting better results, and this directly reflects into visuals and animations. That's it, let's get started. We're gonna take a look in how we can improve and how we can transform these images that I have already here. So we're gonna be working with this section and we're gonna transform it into a beautiful piece of work rendered by artificial intelligence. Also, we're gonna do this one, we're gonna do this sketch, we're gonna see how we can transform this sketch into something that looks captive. Now, there is many benefits on doing this because, as you know, conventional rendering techniques demand a lot of GPU power, they demand a lot of human resources that are really skilled and that they know what they are doing. If you don't adapt to this, I think the market is gonna blow up and probably you're gonna be behind because you gotta learn how to use this. I need to sign in. So let's go for the first one. So in text to render, this is the most common way of using artificial intelligence, and basically this is the same workflow that every site has. So you need to put a prompt here and that will give you some kind of result. For this exercise, I already wrote my prompt and pasted here. So basically, we're telling the software, generate a high-end back garden design in the style of the Royal Chelsea Flower Show. So this is the idea that we are giving to the AI software. Now we can select the style, tell the software that we want something realistic, something artistic, something that looks like an architectural drawing, or something that looks like a painting. An illustration collage, a watercolor, or a marker drawing. To start this, we're gonna click on realistic to get some stunning results. Now here, you can tell the format and the ratio aspect on how do you want that image. Do you want it to be a square? Do you want it to be a 16:9? So for this exercise, I'm gonna select this one, and then on here, you can control how much attachment do you want the software to have to your prompt. So if you put this into 0, AI is gonna try to generate the idea only based in the words that you have typed. But if you increase this to 100%, that means that you are letting AI to put a little bit of his or her intentions and make this just a bit more creative. So we're gonna start with a 60% creativity and we're gonna generate our first results to see what we have. There is different types of plans on this application. I have the premium, but also there is another one that is a bit more expensive that allows you to skip all the queue. Unfortunately, you cannot do this if you don't have the subscription, and I have to mention that I am not being sponsored by this app. I truly think that this is the best AI software in 2025. And here we go. So this is what we have got at the first glance. I'm gonna click on it just to maximize it a little bit. As you can see, it is very similar to what we typed on our prompt. So in our prompt, we said that we wanted a high-end back garden. This looks like a high-end back garden. Royal Chelsea Flower Show style. It has a little bit of features that make it to look like if it was a Chelsea Flower Show. I can see it tried to interpret the Argentinian style barbecue right here. It kind of looks like a Egyptian pyramid with a flat top, but it's definitely something that looks alright. So for the next one, that is gonna be with the same text to render, I'm gonna reduce the creativity to 12%, and I am going to generate another image with the same prompt but just with 12%. So here we have our result that has 12% of creativity. I think it definitely is closer to the prompt. I can see the barbecue is not probably an Argentinian style, it's more like an American style. It looks like a luxurious natural atmosphere. I think it's a good start. And for my last exercise in text to render, I am going to increase the creativity to 97% to see what we have. I think it has completely taken it to a different thing. It doesn't have a barbecue anymore. It doesn't have deck anymore. I can't see any glass, and also I can't see any water feature. It looks like this thing right here. It's an Argentinian barbecue, but definitely when we have allowed more than 90% of creativity, Rendeair is gonna do something totally different because it's not gonna stick to the proper instruction. That's why it's good to balance the creativity in something that you think can be beneficial, but at the same time that it's not going to spoil all your intentions. Also, with the same prompt, I want to create something that looks a little bit like a marker drawing. I'm going to choose the marker drawing option, and I'm going to reduce the creativity to 62%. I think it's quite interesting the way it has interpreted it. You definitely can see some intention of having wood on this part. The Argentinian barbecue is here as well. You can see it has think that it's gonna be a place for people to have a seat. I like it. Well, this covers the section of text to render, and now we're gonna start to go to the most interesting bits. So we're gonna go to elevation to render now, and we're gonna drop our first elevation. So for the first one, I am going to select this section number 1, and I want the section to be rendered as a realistic render. So I am going to select on realistic, and I am going to use render provided section, realistic contemporary, render the provided section with realistic contemporary materials. So for this section, the prompt is going to be very simple and straightforward. I am going to reduce the creativity to 59%, and I am going to generate in the realistic style our first image. So here we have the first one. As you can see, it has provided us with something really interesting, and now we're going to compare how much is respecting the original line work. So here we can see it's going exactly through the same. So here, the software has think it's bricks, and in reality these lines represent wood, but we haven't told the software to do that. So I think it's very fair enough. Here we can see how the tree is being rendered, and I kind of like it represented the person like a 3D block. So what do you think our first section? Leave your comments on the box. Do you think this is a good work? Do you think it's a good start? Is it completely out of the way? What is your opinion on this first example? So now we're gonna go to the second one. I am going to copy this prompt, and I am going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to tell ChatGPT to improve the actual prompt. Improve this prompt to instruct AI to render the elevation with realistic contemporary materials. It is elevation of a back garden. ChatGPT is providing us with a more detailed prompt that it's going to help us to instruct Rendair in a better way. So ChatGPT has come back with render a detailed elevation of a back garden using realistic contemporary materials such as wood, concrete, glass and metal. Emphasize natural textures, modern landscape elements and clean architectural lines to reflect stylish contemporary outdoor space. So I'm gonna copy these. We're gonna keep exactly the same parameters. Image strength is gonna be 30%, creativity is gonna be 59%, and I'm gonna paste this right here, and I am going to type generate. So here we go. Here we have the second result that was provided using ChatGPT prompt. So let's go and open it and let's compare. So I think on this one the planting is definitely much better. It's crazy how it has respect also all the boundaries of the planting. Look at this precision, exactly filling the same places of the original section. Now what happens, increase the image strength to probably 60%, and then we go to ChatGPT, style this prompt to be more minimalistic. Let's copy this, paste it here, and click generate. So for this one, we are using 60% of image strength, 59% of creativity, and it's gonna be our second round of improved prompt provided by ChatGPT. There we go. Here is our third result. This one was made. Oh wow, look at this one. So this one is really nice. It has a very realistic planting as well. In this aspect is respecting all the cladding on the wall that really looks like a stone, and it has the Kumaru or take a deck like Instruct. I think this one is the best one. It is respecting every single aspect of the image, even the hatch of AutoCAD. It's exactly the same thing. Wow, this one is fantastic. I love it. Look at the deck detail. So the posts are just very precise. Wow, this one is just amazing. I give it probably 9 out of 10 to this one. We're gonna do the same one again, but using 95% of image strength, 53% of creativity. As you can see, this one is being rendered with the same colors of the hatches, so it's kind of like trying to copy the blue from the hatch into the render, and it's doing something quite interesting. I think it's because we elevate the percentage of the image strength to 95%. Can you see how this angular hatch is being represented in an angular kind of wood pattern? So which guys from this part of the tutorial was your favorite? Was it option 1? Was it option 2? Was it option 3 or option 4? Personally, I think this one is the best one. It has some kind of real composition, but it also makes you to think like it's like a handmade 3D model. I think this one is just fantastic. I really like the tree, and wow, I don't know, this one is also really good. Right, okay, so that was elevation to render. Now we're going to move into a sketch to render. So the sketch that we're going to use is gonna be this one right here, which is basically another barbecue. This sketch comes from my AutoCAD model, this one right here. I have just printed a viewport to see in sketch mode this type of style, and I want to know what Rendair can do with it. So let's go ahead. I want the first one to be realistic, and I need a new prompt. We're gonna type render this sketch into contemporary. So we're gonna start with our own prompt. Render this sketch into a contemporary roof garden that has a barbecue and materials like glass, concrete, steel, and wood. We're gonna reduce the image strength to 55%, and we are going to let the creativity to go to 60%, and we're gonna click generate. So this is our first result. I don't think it's quite spectacular. I think it's alright, but it kind of has made really weird stuff here. It feels like the door, vegetation door. I kind of like the burgers here on the barbecue, but it doesn't seem realistic to have planting behind. So I think this one will need more work, definitely. Then for our second generation, we're gonna take this prompt into ChatGPT, and I'm gonna tell ChatGPT, improve, make it very detailed. So this new prompt has elements like balustrades, windbreaks, and also has floor lights and planting breads and planters. So all of those elements are not currently present on this sketch, but we're gonna put them here to see what AI can do. This is a completely crazy result. AI, I don't know what you have done on here. This looks absolutely... I don't know what to say about this. Guys, what do you think about this one? Do you think this is a good result? Have I made a mistake instructing AI, or what has been happening here? So we're gonna do a third one. And for the third one, so render this roof garden kitchen with 70% of strength and 50% of creativity. Let's see what we get. Well, I think this one is a better result actually. I think this one has interpreted like this door as a fridge. I can see the concrete panels. I can see definitely the barbecue right here. Let's compare it on full screen. So this one is definitely something much better than the other results. Yes, I quite like it. I like this one. Now, let's start by modifying this current example. So what we're going to do now, we're gonna edit this one right here, and we're gonna select and modify. So let's edit, and with this brush, I am going to select all the floor first. And once I have selected all the floor, I am going to click on done, and I am going to type wood deck. And I will click on generate. I just selected all the floor, and I am expecting Rendair to replace it with wood deck. Let's see what we get. Oh wow, this is really nice. So we are starting to have something. Let's go back to the original after the sketch. We can see it transformed into deck, which is really nice. So from the sketch to render, which was your favorite result, I think this one right here is one of the best ones. We have provided the software with this sketch, and we got this one, so I think it's quite nice. This one is also really nice. And now we're going to go to the next feature. So I'm going to go to 3D base to render, and I am going to upload this 3D base that I have here. So this 3D base belongs to one of my projects when I was in university, and I want to see what AI can do with it. I'm gonna put after that one, this one, just to see what we get, and also this one, we're gonna test it. So I think we can start with this one right here. I'm gonna just drop it here. So I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna type a prompt. So the prompt for this exercise is going to be create a real aerial visual of the 3D model provided. Focus on the main building and create the context buildings and vegetation. I want the image strength to be 60% and to have the creativity on 60%. Now I'm gonna add some keywords. I added these two keywords, museum building and aerial view. And now I'm gonna click on generate. Oh wow, look at this, this is fantastic. So it has created the building. I like the trees, it's kind of like spheres. But it also has created the surrounding buildings. This is amazing, I love it. And it has a lot of potential to be refined. Now let's take this prompt to ChatGPT and improve it. We're gonna use the same image strength and the same creativity. And let's see what we have. Oh, look at this. So here it looks like this is like a floating, but it has drawn some cars. I quite like the context. What do you think is best one, guys? This one I did it with V-Ray and 3ds Max years ago. And to be fair, I think mine is better than this one, but this one has a little bit of interesting detail. To conclude this one, we're gonna improve the creativity to 78% and improve the image strength a little bit as well to 70%. And let's click generate one more time to see what we get. Oh wow! So this one has created a lake here. It looks very interesting. I think this one has more composition. It completely has destroyed our building. This building doesn't look the same as the other one. It kind of gives you like a feeling that you are like in a utopian world with some sphere trees. It's really interesting to see what AI does, to be fair. So for this exercise, guys, which one was your favorite? Was it this one, or maybe this one, or this one? That's it. So number 1, number 2, or number 3. So leave your preferred option on the comment box. I think I personally will go for this one. So we're gonna do one more exercise on 3D base to render, but now I am going to use this 3D base. So I'm gonna take this off from here and I am going to upload. Now I'm gonna use the same prompt, but this time is not gonna be an aerial. This time is just gonna be a realistic render of the provided 3D model, focusing on the main museum building as the central element, surrounded with contextually accurate buildings that reflect the urban or natural setting, and include detailed landscaping with varied vegetation such as trees, shrubs, and green spaces to enhance realism. Ensure the composition clearly highlights the museum architectural from scale and integration with its environment. Use natural light, perspective to create depth and realism. So this one we're gonna start with a creativity of 60% and with an image strength of 80%. And now let's click generate and let's see what Rendair can deliver to us. Guys, I have to confess, I'm so tired of waiting. I am paying $100 and something per year, and to be fair, the time that I need to wait, it's just endless. It's like 3 minutes per frame. Wow, this is fantastic. I love this one. So this is clearly something really spectacular design. I'm very happy with this. There is a lot of room for improvement, but definitely is something nice. Can you see how we can see the stairs behind the glass? And the balustrade here. This is something really satisfying. Now let's change the atmosphere a little bit of this one. Now let's increase the creativity to 65% and reduce the image strength to 66%. Wow, I like it. So this is our first result and our second result. Guys, what do you think about this one? I like the way AI has interpreted the empty spaces with a water lake reflection pool and some kind of deck with edge. I think that is because we reduce the image strength a little bit and we allow for a little bit more of creativity. I think this is a really interesting result that we can work on. So the next steps that we're going to do is we're going to create a variation, and then we're going to select that we want this same image on night time. So let's click confirm on night and let's generate again. Wow, so this is a night variation. As you can see, it has created all the lighting inside the building. I can see also these nice spectacular clouds behind. You can go back to the previous one. Very lush, I like it. Now let's create one more variation, and let's bring these to a snowy, wintry atmosphere. Oh wow, I like this one as well, with all the snow behind. It's a night snowy scene actually. Really nice. It's very interesting how it interprets the inside and interior of the building. So which one from this one was your favorite one? Was it this one, number 2, the night one, or the wintry snowy one? Personally, I think this one is the best one. Yes, definitely this is the best one. I really like it. So before we jump into the next steps that something is waiting for you behind, so at the end we're gonna do something really interesting, take it out of the pockets, and it's gonna be video. But before jumping into that, we're gonna go take this off and we're gonna take this same prompt, but this time we are going to use this image right here. The same project, but now I have drawn the road and some people. So I'm gonna upload that image. We're going to 3D base to render with the same prompt. 60% creativity and 60% image strength. So in this example, we already gave the software a realistic rendered image. So it's a V-Ray monochromatic, and let's see what it does with it. This also could have been done in image to render. So first we're gonna do it here, and then we're gonna jump into image to render to see how it gets it. Oh wow, so it thinks it's kind of like water on the road. Definitely these ones were better. I kind of like the people. It's definitely something surrealistic. The water, I really like the reflection here of the building. Okay, now let's try the same exercise, but in image to render. So we're gonna click image to render. We're gonna create realistic, generate a realistic render provided, focusing on the main museum building. Now on color strength, I'm gonna reduce it. I'm gonna increase this to 60%, this to 60. Let's see what we get. Because in reality, this is not a 3D base, this is an already rendered image, and I want to see how Rendeair interprets this. Oh wow, look at this. This is really nice. It has made the road like if it was wood. Definitely this is something that we could tweak if we select the edit tool and we select this. I kind of like the context with the people. The stairs here look a bit wonky. Now we're gonna create one last one, but we're gonna reduce the creativity to 50%, and we're gonna increase the shape's strength to 68%. And let's get one more. So this one is not as good as the others. I think this one is better, but definitely this one is just fantastic. So what we're going to do next is we're going to upscale this one to 4K and enhance it a little bit. So we're going to scale this to 4K, the image strength, texture, and let's click generate. What we are doing now is we have just selected our best result of today, the one that I think is the winning one, and we are just applying extra further refinement. So what we are doing now is we're making this image 4 times bigger, we are improving the texture by 30%, but also we are respecting this original shape. Stay tuned because the next steps are the most important bits of all of these things. We're about to jump in the most exciting part of the video. So finally, after waiting so long, here is the 4K scaled image, which pretty much is very similar, but it has added a little bit more of texture. So as you can see, it has better reflections on the pond, like a bump or normal map, making some shadows on the deck, and also it removed these dots on the concrete. I think both of them are really good. I think the interiors on the second version are definitely better, and I really like the greenery inside the building right here. For our last step and our last bit in this journey is we're gonna try to transform this into video. So we're gonna go to video, we're gonna select this one, and we're going to download it. Then we're gonna go to video, go to downloads, and we're gonna select this one right here. We're gonna crop it, and now we're gonna do an orbiting scenario, and we're gonna type on, and this has spent 25 credits from my membership. Now I have 100 video credits left. And here is the video. I wanna maximize the screen, Oh, look at that. That is just fantastic. So it's 5 seconds video. Let's download it. So this is the video that we created with AI based on this sketch right here. Let's put them side by side. So from this, we went up to this using Rendeair. Guys, I think this covers everything for today. I hope you had enjoyed this journey of exploring the best tool for architecture. You have to remember that choosing the right tool in 2025 is a crucial thing to succeed with this competition that is just expanding parabolic way. If we don't learn how to use these tools, if we don't learn how to adapt to these tools, there's no way we can compete with this. We need to take them and use them in our own ways to just improve our results, get more efficient with our time, and just deliver a better output. This is not gonna take over our jobs quite yet, I think. I don't know what you think. Do you think this is just gonna make architects useless and we're gonna be replaced by machines and robots? Let me know on the comment box. I want to hear what are your opinions. By the way, if you enjoyed this process, please subscribe, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one.